Hello, my loves. This is just a quick intro and like a quick how-to on the EFTs so that when you go into the EFT, you already kind of know what you're doing. So what is EFT? EFT, emotional freedom technique, or just tapping, or EFT tapping. People call it different things, but it is basically tapping with your fingers on certain acupressure points, which I'm going to show you. And we do this for two reasons. So one of the reasons is to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is the part of your brain that just calms things down. It just ignites that relaxation and it gets you out of fight or flight mode, which is the sympathetic nervous system, which is what's activated when we have anxiety. So activating the parasympathetic nervous system is always going to be very beneficial for us, especially when we're experiencing anxiety. And then number two is it's going to reprogram how we feel about anxiety or how we feel about whatever we're tapping on. So in this course, right now, there is just the anxiety EFT that you're going to do right in the beginning. And there is also the self-love EFT to be done before and after the shadow work. And then I'm going to add bonuses as we go along. So let me show you what we're doing. So basically there's different points. Let me just adjust this quick. So there's a kind of an order that you go in, and this is why the EFTs are videos, not recordings, because I want you to see and be able to follow along with me. So the first one is, first off, you're going to take your two fingers, pointer finger and middle finger, and you're going to tap the locations that I show you. This is the first one. So if you could see, it's on your pinky. Also, doesn't matter what hand you use. You can use whatever side you want to use, just be consistent. So it's right below your pinky, kind of like middle of your palm, but on the side. So you're going to tap that. And if you have long nails, just make sure that you're tapping with your fingertip, or if they're really long, you can tap with your nail. Just make sure it's like a solid tap, you know what I mean? So we're going to tap here, first location. And it's usually 5 to 7 taps. And usually that's the amount of time it takes for me to say the part of the phrase that we're saying, and then for you to repeat it. So first one. Second one, so it's right at the tip of your brow bone. Third one, not your temple, right at the top of your cheekbone. So right below your temple. It's kind of like right where your eye crease is. Third is the beginning of your cheekbone, so like right underneath your tear duct. Fourth is in between your nose and your lips. Fifth is right on your chin crease, so in between your lip and like the ball of your chin. The next one is going to be right underneath your collarbone. So it's not on your collarbone, it's underneath it. And then the next one is going to be not on your armpit, a little further down, right where like your first rib is, or if you're a woman, if you're wearing a bra, you don't have to be, but it's right where like your bra like waistband part would be. So you do that. And you'll probably switch hands for that. And then your crown. So right on the top, the middle of your head. And we do that sequence. So that's why I wanted to show you that, because when you go on the video, you're going to see me doing that. And this way you already know the location. I am going to repeat a whole sequence of things. I'm going to say them, you're going to repeat them. So I'll say a bit while we're like tapping for here, say, and then you're just going to follow. So the whole thing, just basically follow. You'll have time to repeat what I'm saying before I say the next one and we move to the next point. Make sure you score yourself in the beginning. So I want you to write down, you can use the emotion wheel if you need to, or if you want to. There's a video on that. And so what you're going to do is you're going to write down the emotions you're feeling, and then you're going to score them on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you don't feel it that intensely, 10 being like it's so intense, it's unbearable, it's consuming you. And so I want you to score that. Be mindful. If you're in the 8 to 10 range, that's usually where some tears are involved. It's usually where you're feeling very overwhelmed and consumed by that particular emotion. That's okay. Feel it. It's called emotional freedom technique for a reason. It's gonna help you to release. Crying is a physical release. That's what happens. It's one of the physical releases. And so it's really important that you don't hold yourself back from crying. If you are in the 8 to 10 range for a particular emotion, or for all the emotions, that's happened to me before when I've let it get very out of control. And then I had to do EFT, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's an awesome thing until I felt better again. Do continue to do the itchy eye. Continue to do the EFT, like the same video, just keep replaying it until you feel like that's below an 8. So what you're going to do is you're going to score in the beginning, and then you're going to score at the end, and then you're going to see how it affected your emotion and how you feel afterwards. So if you're still in the 8 to 10 range for any particular emotion, or for all of them, or for more than one, or whatever the case may be, make sure you continue to do the EFT until it gets below that 8, till you feel like it's below that 8. And that's going to really anchor in that release of the emotion, and then you can move on. And then you can continue to do it whenever that emotion arises, or whenever you feel like you have to do some maintenance or something like that. So that's really it for the breakdown of the EFT and the kind of the how-to. So yeah, get into the anxiety EFT and the self-love EFT, and I can't wait to see you there.